Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Tuesday, August 31st, at 3:25 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 656 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Traffic lines roadway as blaze threatens Tahoe area. Pentagon releases picture of last U.S. soldier to leave Afghanistan, ending 20-year war. Trump rants about media spending all night on Ida instead of his great Taliban deal. Gimme shelter, California is on the verge of ending single-family home-only zoning. AOC, Tlaib and Presley urge Biden to replace Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Lightning strike at Jersey Shore kills lifeguard, injure 7. FBI, Texas shooter possibly inspired by foreign terrorists. Grieving QB Morgan values connection, support from Gophers. Reap what you sow, U.S. commander says Taliban will have their hands full with ISIS-K. Chiefs cut RB's Thompson, Gorham on early roster moves. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. College student who toted members only sign in Capitol pleads guilty, CNN. Afghanistan Hive News, Biden confirms end of 20-year U.S. military presence as Taliban celebrate in Kabul, The Guardian. Calder fire intensifies and evacuations are ordered near Lake Tahoe, The New York Times. Dow Jones Futures, stock market rally, Apple stock hits new highs, Zoom dives 12% on earnings, Investors Business Daily. He is the last American soldier to leave Afghanistan, NPR. Frank Oz says Disney shunned him from Muppets projects because he won't follow orders, Hollywood Reporter. South African researchers keep wary eye on yet another new coronavirus variant, CNN. A closer look at whether Bishop Sycamore is a legitimate high school football program, CBSSports.com. Forest Service officials confirm all California national forests to temporarily close, Los Angeles Times. Split UN Security Council urges Taliban to allow travel, aid, Politico. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Taliban bans mixed-gender university classes in Afghanistan. Trump rants about media spending all night on Ida instead of his great Taliban deal. Someone just played a hilarious Simpsons prank on a Virginia school board. Fast-spreading California wildfire reaches Lake Tahoe Basin. Jen Psaki gets attacked by aggressive bug during press briefing. First John Doe in R. Kelly trial testifies how he was forced into sex acts. Republicans pledge to oppose paying debts they voted for. Authorities harder on George Floyd protesters than January 6 rioters, report. GOP candidate suggests forcibly removing school board members over mask mandates. Last U.S. planes leave Kabul, ending 20-year war in Afghanistan. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Friends remember Marine killed in Kabul. Vehicle held for elderly woman found dead. Fallen service member memorial raises funds. Police, 3 in custody in death of 13-year-old. Mom demands change after son dies. Police seek volunteers for addiction program. Workers worry about rising crime. Cops allegedly target of pyramid scheme probe. Families raise more than $77K with lemonade stand for hospital. Schools helping students with more than learning. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Hurricane veterans were stunned by Ida, it's never been as bad. Colder fire intensifies and evacuations are ordered near Lake Tahoe. U.S. war in Afghanistan ends as final evacuation flights depart. Iowa farm worker gets life in prison for the murder of Molly Tibbetts. U.S. Education Department investigates 5 states over mask mandate bans. Federal judge strikes down Trump rule governing water pollution. Rescue work search for those stranded by Hurricane Ida. Scenes from Afghanistan, videos captured celebratory whistling and honking in Kabul. Blinken says American diplomats have left Kabul. Transcript of Blinken's speech on new chapter in Afghanistan. The following headlines are from the 6th most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Hurricane Ida hits Dukes of Hazzard actor John Schneider's Louisiana home and studio. Taliban kill folk singer days after banning music in Afghanistan, family says. Louisiana man loses arm, likely killed in alligator attack in Ida floodwaters, officials say. NBC's Richard Engel, Biden's Afghan withdrawal was the worst capitulation of Western values in our lifetimes. Biden sees Dem support dwindle over Afghanistan withdrawal. Houston, Afghanistan veteran dies of treatable illness after waiting for intensive care unit bed. Sassy calls Afghanistan withdrawal national disgrace, blames Biden's cowardice and incompetence. Fully vaccinated NFL players will get COVID-19 tests weekly. Giants Cueto out with cold, Wood tests positive for virus. Drew Brees touching message dedicated to Louisiana during Hurricane Ida, my heart is with you. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Tuesday, August 31st. The next headlines are from the 7th most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Baseball report, Shohei Ohtani keeps boosting MVP credentials. Homeless man breaches security at Los Angeles' lax, board plane early Sunday morning. 4th stimulus check, will you get another relief payment? Survivor 41 announces full cast, features former NFL athlete, neurosurgeon, college students. How to play CBS local sports pro football challenge. Electronic billboards near Pittsburgh gaining attention for messaging about masks, COVID-19. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Richard Littlejohn, talk to the Taliban, don't waste your breath. Euro Millions jackpot winner Adrian Bayford consumed with guilt as son, 13, fights for life. Warehouse of horror, family's fury over enormous garden eyesore that hits house prices for $40K. Man killed by alligator in Louisiana after warning beasts were lurking in Ida flood waters. Paul Thomas on, Michael Gove's dad dancing. Christopher Stevens on TV, who needs tacky trickery to tell the century's most powerful tale? New Orleans hit by looting in wake of Hurricane Ida, including ATM thieves caught by drone. Jacinda Ardern's Fank shows off the bizarre lifelike doll fan handmade for their young daughter. Republicans call for Biden to resign or be impeached after Afghanistan withdrawal is completed. No way out, interpreters fear that fleeing from Afghanistan by land is almost impossible. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News feed. European Union recommends new travel restrictions for unvaccinated Americans. The world should unfreeze Afghanistan's reserves and pour in aid to rebuild the country, Russia says. The U.S. reckons with defeat in Afghanistan. Afghanistan Hive updates. Last U.S. military flight leaves Kabul, Biden to address nation Tuesday. Lee Scratch Perry, a mad scientist in the recording studio, dies at 85. Colombia court refuses to try general accused in 104 murders. Heavily armed criminal group ties hostages to getaway cars after storming Brazilian city. 10 civilians killed by U.S. drone strike in Kabul, family says. First group of 149 Afghan evacuees arrives in North Macedonia. Taliban celebrate victory as U.S. troops leave Afghanistan. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Chaos as Calder Fire forces unprecedented evacuation of Tahoe tourist town. Hurricane Ida, more than 1 m without power as New Orleans assesses damage. Afghanistan Hive News, Biden confirms end of 20-year U.S. military presence as Taliban celebrate in Kabul. The Knock, the families torn apart by an arrest over child abuse images. After 20 years, last U.S. flight departs Kabul, leaving Afghanistan to its fate. Andy Murray again rolls back years in U.S. Open defeat to Stefanos Tsitsipas. Huge decrease in organ transplants as COVID took hold across world. Oregon counties request trucks for bodies as COVID overwhelms morgues. Embarrassment for Arsenal as Maitland-Niles asks to leave on Instagram. Trump phone records could be swept by Capitol attack panel, reports say. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. COVID-19 Hive updates, doctors beg people to get vaccinated as hospitals fill up. Lightning strike at Jersey Shore kills lifeguard, injure 7. After 20 years, U.S. ground troops leave Afghanistan, but Americans left behind. GOP launches ballot drive to tighten Michigan voting laws. Oklahoma NAACP files suit challenging anti-protest law. Judge restores unvaccinated Illinois mom's right to see son. FBI, Texas shooter possibly inspired by foreign terrorists. Clinics ask Supreme Court to block Texas 6-week abortion ban. Judge strips unvaccinated Illinois mom of rights to see son. Texas utility settles over sky-high energy bills from freeze. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Afghanistan, last U.S. military flight departs ending America's longest war. Highly polluting leaded petrol now eradicated from the world, says UN. Theranos scandal, who is Elizabeth Holmes and why is she on trial? Nigerian students amass degrees to stay in Europe. Can apps move the Me Too movement forward? Parao Taekwondo, taking 360 tornado kicks to Tokyo. Afghanistan, fleeing the Taliban into Pakistan and leaving dreams behind. From Bush to Biden, one war, 4 U.S. presidents on Afghanistan. Gunfire as Taliban celebrate U.S. leaving Afghanistan. The moment the U.S. declares it has left Afghanistan. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Hundreds rescued in Louisiana, where more than 1 million are out of power, 2 dead, man attacked by alligator in flood waters. Calder Fire, roads packed after South Lake Tahoe order to evacuate, all national forests in California closed due to wildfires. Hurricane Ida collapses historic New Orleans jazz shop, a Louis Armstrong landmark. Blinken says under 200 Americans in Afghanistan. Hurricane Ida is latest storm to test New Orleans levees after Hurricane Katrina. Some stranded by Ida rescued by boat. Conservative talk radio host who opposed vaccinations dies after 3-week COVID-19 battle. Hurricane Ida's strength may have seemed surprising, but not to forecasters. Louisiana governor, levee system worked well during Ida. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Ex-church leader gets 11 years in prison for stealing millions from his congregation. Democratic lawmakers drop idea for a California statewide vaccine mandate. Their hope is me. Afghan family in LA is running out of time to rescue family in Kabul. Why the Lake Tahoe area is vulnerable to wildfire. Forest Service officials confirm all California national forests to temporarily close. Vaccination foes target homes of LA City Council members. Lake Tahoe faces disastrous urban conflagration if Calder fire reaches communities. Video gives clearer picture of fatal Los Angeles Police Department shooting on Hollywood Boulevard. Photos, evacuation order issued for South Lake Tahoe due to Calder fire. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Tuesday, August 31st, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Extinction Rebellion protesters block London's Tower Bridge. Paris introduces citywide 30 km per hour, 19 mph, speed limit that applies everywhere except main ring roads and highways. The U.S. has completed its Kabul evacuation effort, ending 20-year war in Afghanistan. Asteroid up to 3 times the size of Statue of Liberty nearing Earth's orbit. Taliban appear to fly U.S. Black Hawk helicopters over Kandahar. Philippines, nurses threaten mass resignation amid COVID surge. Australian imports of ivermectin increase tenfold, prompting warning from TGA. China set to begin first trials of molten salt nuclear reactor using thorium instead of uranium. Russian cosmonauts find new cracks in International Space Station module. Tencent's messaging platform blocks LGBTQ search terms. It's official, you cannot buy leaded gasoline for cars anywhere on Earth. US to be removed from EU safe travel list. Defense lawyer praises judge's decision to dismiss non-vaccinated jurors. Family says 7 children were killed in Kabul drone strike. Among the dead were Ahmadi, 40, who the family said worked for a Southern California-based charity, a 25-year-old nephew who was about to be married, and 5 kids who were 5 years old or younger. Facing China squeeze, Taiwan launches English-language news platform. The next headlines are from Forbes. UFC 266 early betting odds. Eventy creates events optimized for both live and streaming audiences. Onyx Authenticated shows a blueprint for sports card survival without MLB licenses. Dozens of subreddits go private to protest Reddit's COVID disinformation policy. Growth of online luxury marketplaces continues in 2021. Mariah Carey embroiled in legal battle following release of her new line of Irish creams. GOP Rep Cawthorn warns of bloodshed in comments appearing to endorse more Gen 6-style rallies. Rose wines that speak Spanish. Soaring electricity and coal use are proving once again, Roger Peelk Jr.'s iron law of climate. Vast network of GOP figures, lawmakers targeted in January 6 panel's telecom record sweep. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Witness in U.S. climate change lawsuit tells all. Food systems, 7 priorities to end hunger and protect the planet. Using sound to explore events of the universe. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,728,399,301 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Kanye West's Donda breaks Apple Music records, hits #1 in 152 countries. Bachelor in Paradise recap, breakups, betrayals and love triangles dominate the beach. Diane Kruger, Ray Nicholson to star in Neil LaBute thriller Out of the Blue. Comic-inspired NFT Dino Warriors boasts Marvel Creative and Dimitri Vegas backing exclusive. Olivia Rodrigo heads off trip Red, lure to top album chart again. What's coming to Disney Plus in September 2021? Before seeing Shang-Chi, here's everything you need to know from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Mission: Impossible 7 feet shutdowns trigger COVID-19 insurance lawsuit. Music industry moves, RCA Records ups Carolyn Williams to Executive VP. Taiki Waititi, Jessica Chastain, Tiffany Haddish star in Holly Shorts Film Festival selections, film news in brief. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. He is the last American soldier to leave Afghanistan. The Taliban is celebrating its takeover now that the U.S. withdrawal is complete. House panel investigating the Capitol attack orders 35 companies to preserve records. Immunity to COVID-19 could last longer than you'd think. As Ida weakens, more than 1 million Gulf Coast homes and businesses are without power. In China, kids are limited to playing video games for only 3 hours per week. The world has finally stopped using leaded gasoline. Algeria used the last stockpile. Education Department announces civil rights investigations into 5 states' mask mandate bans. Employers cannot require people to work 72 hours a week, China's High Court says. Tips for staying safe and informed on the ground in Louisiana after Ida. The following headlines are from the week. Week into a tropical depression, Ida brings relentless rain to Mississippi, Alabama. Blinken, U.S. will use lessons learned in Afghanistan to shape national security, foreign policy. Number of Americans left in Afghanistan is in the very low hundreds, says General McKenzie. The United States' 20-year military mission in Afghanistan ends with an FAA notice. The thousands of hours of January 6 footage the government wants to keep private. Why Hurricane Ida strengthened so rapidly? American atrocities doomed the Afghanistan occupation. Condoleezza Rice, Gretchen Carlson among those who will fill in for Meghan McCain on The View. Trump bombed the hell out of U.S. equipment left behind in Afghanistan. U.S. hate crimes in 2020 reached their highest level in 12 years, per FBI. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Texas Observer redesigns. Introducing the new Texas Observer. The Final Frontera. Dallas Hidden History of Terror. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Thanks to Ingenuity's pictures, Perseverance knows where to drive to next. What a perfect gravitational lens. These are the news headlines for today, Tuesday, August 31st. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. What flows into a galaxy cleaner than what flows out? The next news is from Politico. U.S. dropped from EU's coronavirus safe travel list. Britain tries to work out what a journalist is. Florida defies judge and punishes 2 school districts over masks. Split UN Security Council urges Taliban to allow travel aid. CDC vaccine panel, let regulators lead on COVID-19 booster shots. Photo gallery, Hurricane Ida blasts Gulf Coast. January 6 probe takes first step to obtaining phone records, possibly those of lawmakers. U.S. ends 20-year mission in Afghanistan. AOC, Tlaib, Presley call on Biden to dump Powell as Fed chair. Trump to head to Iowa with an eye on 2024. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Paralympics 2021 live updates. Hooks wins time trial gold. Australia snares second gold on the track. NRL Group jets in from Sydney above Queensland arrival ban. Ben Fordham, 2 gigabytes bounce back in Sydney radio ratings. 3 jockeys lodge appeals over Airbnb bans. America's longest war ends in heartbreak and recrimination. Dollars and cents, NB&Co faces a challenging road ahead. I lost respect for him, Murray slams Tsitsipas after US Open epic. Modest restriction changes ahead for Victorians as exposure sites pass 1,000. What's rapid antigen testing and is it about to become part of daily life? Kick in the guts, Sydney loses major Hemsworth movie due to lockdown. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. In one chart, the S&P 500 hasn't seen a year-to-date rally this strong since 1997. What's next? In reversal, judge allows Chicago mother to see her son even if she doesn't have COVID-19 vaccine. Back to school with the threat of the Delta variant, some parents once again call for remote learning. It almost feels like Groundhog Day, colleges welcome students back to campus amid Delta variant surge. Why Americans will be paying for the cost of the war in Afghanistan for decades. The moneyest, I've taken care of my mother, 94, for 23 years. Her handwritten will says she wants me to inherit her home. Is that enough? The moneyest, my sons are at odds after one abused the other 20 years ago. Should I appoint a third party as executor of my $1 million estate? AOC and other progressives call for Biden to replace Powell as Fed chair. The tell, why a debt ceiling stalemate could push reverse repo demand to $1.4 trillion in next 3 months. Silence No More Act passes in California, nullifying NDAs in harassment cases. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Ideas by female biomedical scientists are often overlooked. Why that has serious consequences. MarketWatch. U.S. Supreme Court narrows assign or estoppel doctrine in continuation patent case. Law.com. Your employee handbook may be deficient for capturing patent rights. J.D. Supra. Cube raises $1.50 from Sala founder for its Rubik's Cube-like game device, VentureBeat. Professor Emeritus Paul Schimmel donates $50 million to support MIT Life Sciences Enterprise, MIT News. Marion Maid, a local inventor who made an impact on the world, Marion Starr. Commissioner of Patents challenges landmark ruling on artificial intelligence, lawyerly. The next headlines are from Quartz. Esther Perel's simple advice for finding meaning at work. China is no longer allowing kids to play online video games on weekdays. Facebook Workrooms brings the worst of in-person office life to virtual reality. Photos, Hurricane Ida pummels Louisiana leaving over 1 million without power. A strike at Nabisco is testing the power of unions in the pandemic. The last country on Earth using leaded gasoline just finished its supply. The forecast, the future of dining out. China's environmental goals are driving aluminum prices to a 10-year high. One drag on Nigeria's GDP growth has nothing to do with the pandemic. The 8th natural wonder of the world is getting a partnership with TikTok. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Another 1.2 million consumers ditched traditional cable TV last quarter. Sidney Powell, Lynn Wood, and a bunch of other Trump-loving lawyers hit with sanctions in Michigan. Texas legislature says you cannot teach about racism in schools, but social media sites must host Holocaust denialism. More pro-Trump lawyers sanctioned for BS election fraud lawsuits. Daily Deal, the Learn AutoCAD programming bundle. Most information about this information is misinformation. FCC bungled broadband mapping and subsidies so badly, it got boxed out of broadband infrastructure plan. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Lyme disease. Certified lover boy. Andy Murray. Finance. Dear Evan Hansen. Calder fire. Google Doodle. U Season 3. U travel restrictions. US Open. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Biden calls black senior advisor Cedric Richmond a boy during FEMA briefing. Watch, Taliban celebrates last American troops fleeing Afghanistan, firing more ammo than in actual combat, RT correspondent. U.S. military's Afghanistan commander admits that hundreds of Americans left behind, but praises Taliban as helpful in withdrawal. Psaki says deaths of 13 U.S. troops don't take place of all the progress made in Kabul as Biden takes flak for Afghan nightmare. Biden praises U.S. military for success of Afghanistan airlift, says diplomacy will rescue those left behind. I was recruited by UK intelligence to spy on ISIS and got thrown under the bus, claims ex-militant awaiting trial in Dagestan. Power outages in Louisiana to last a month after Hurricane Ida. Phone talks, chance of pro-Trump GOP and family may be preserved as Jan 6 committee demands hundreds of records from companies, CNN. War is over, Taliban won, final U.S. flight leaves Kabul airport, ending Afghanistan airlift. Watch, man mauled by police dog during arrest at Newcastle protest against UK COVID-19 vaccine passports. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Pfizer board member warns policymakers, natural immunity needs to be included in COVID mandate plans. Southern border apprehensions at 2-decade high. Retired U.S. Back Ops insiders detail chaotic exit from Afghanistan, updated. Rental policy shock, 750,000 households are about to be evicted, what happens to the economy? The only college rankings that matter. Fertilizer prices at near-decade high as farmers struggle for supply. Our Afghan nightmare, tanks for nothing. China introduces Xi Jinping thought into school curriculum for all age groups. Justified shooting or fair game? Shooter of Ashley Babbitt makes shocking admission. Beijing's big tech crackdown causes private deal flow to dry up in August. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Afghan refugee in Australia pleads to return and rescue family. UN adopts Afghanistan resolution, but no safe zone. U.S. completes Afghanistan withdrawal as final flight leaves Kabul. South African scientists monitoring new coronavirus variant. Hate crimes in U.S. at 12-year high in 2020, FBI report. Oil edges higher as producers assess Hurricane Ida damage. Is ISIS-K a challenge for the Taliban? Afghan healthcare system at risk of collapse, aid agencies warn. UN hails milestone as use of leaded petrol ended globally. China forbids minors from gaming more than 3 hours per week. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Video, Joe Biden refers to black advisor Cedric Richmond as boy. CDC claims no deaths reported in young people due to heart inflammation side effects of coronavirus vaccines. Biden's agencies plan to resettle Afghans across many swing states. Senator Haggerty, Biden turned Afghanistan into a cauldron of terror. Joe Biden plans afternoon address to mark end of war in Afghanistan. Poll, Canada's Trudeau losing ground ahead of September election. McCall, there are more Americans in Afghanistan than State Department claims, fate of interpreters left behind is very certain. Exclusive, Michael Savage, Biden's Afghanistan disaster is terror's greatest victory in my lifetime. Larry Elder releases Spanish campaign ads as Latino support rises for Newsom recall. Georgia County's records show 43K absentee ballot chain of custody forms have incomplete or late information. The next headlines are from UPI News. Facebook post tips woman off to $3.5 million lottery win. Watch, cows airlifted from Swiss Alps via helicopter. Swiss canton awards 100 bottles of wine to residents who turn 100. Watch, South African charity lines up 90,450 food cans for world record. Loose crocodile spotted swimming on Israel-Jordan border. Tennessee Goodwill workers return donated World War II letters to family. Two wolves escape enclosure at Netherlands Zoo. Watch, Idaho man moves 133 thumbtacks between boards in 1 minute. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. What can the wise voices of J.R.R. Tolkien, Frodo Baggins, and Gandalf the Grey teach us about the present day? Restaurant makes special chocolate for blind customer with birthday message in Braille. 1 year since bipartisan bill-funded repairs of parks and projects are underway in 40 states. Tens of millions now have power thanks to off-grid solar systems, many of them recycled. Artist makes the most amazing animal sculptures from trash. Look. Join a global gathering of researchers on the importance of self-compassion, free online. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Tuesday, August 31st. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. American Idol alum David Archuleta says God told him to come out publicly. Chicago newlyweds spark debate with $240 no-show wedding bill. Butler Company judge orders doctors to treat COVID-19 patient with ivermectin. Kuwait removes un-Islamic statue of Aphrodite from shock display. Ireland under attack from sex-crazed spiders the size of your hand. Study claims eating a hot dog could take 36 minutes off your life. Brazil bank robbers tie hostages to getaway cars in Aratuba. Swiss canton gives 100 bottles of wine to 100-year-olds. Non-wine drinkers can decide to bestow 1,500 Swiss francs, $1,646, to a charity. They can also opt for a voucher to spend at a local merchant or craftsman. 5 schools in Coleman, Al closed due to rising COVID cases after Trump rally. FBI agent, Army Reserves call charged with sex crimes against children. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. Google parodies Apple and Johnny Ive in ridiculous Pixel 5 commercial. No, the iPhone 13 probably won't support satellite connectivity. Nissan and Mitsubishi are making their own Mini EV, for Japan only. Excel autocorrect errors are plaguing gene research. The Gus and Chill solar cooler means no ice necessary, and with solar panels, it's really a mobile fridge. V-Downloader can help easily grab any video you want off the web for nearly $100 off. Toyota's Epaulet hits a blind Paralympian, is semi-automation to blame? Get a bigger exit, build your executive team's personal brand. Tesla on autopilot crashes into 2 parked cars, again. Should doxing be illegal? The following headlines are from Science Daily. Novel assessment of platelet-rich plasma treatment shows efficacy in patients with osteoarthritis. Improving strength, stretchiness and adhesion in hydrogels for wound healing. Improved water splitting method, a green energy innovation. Hidden in the seeds, bacteria found to survive the harsh interior of passion fruit seeds. Reliable oxygenation conceivable with new design for portable concentrators. How people respond to wildfire smoke. Record number of ancient elephant bone tools discovered. Learning from a living fossil. Tracking genetically modified animals. Beavers are well established in moving through the Oregon Coast Range. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Tuesday, August 31st from over 100 sources to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA sets coverage for 2 Russian spacewalks outside space station. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. University of Utah Health is first hospital system in state to require that employees get COVID-19 vaccine. Kyle Whittingham, players go in-depth for first time on Charlie Brewer winning Utah QB job. Plane that crashed in West Jordan, killing 4, shouldn't have taken off, lawsuit alleges. The Utah Poison Control Center has seen a bump in calls about ivermectin, which is not recommended for treating COVID-19. More than 3,300 Utahns catch COVID-19, and 5 people die. I know that my creation was not a mistake. LGBTQ community and allies gather at City Creek Park following comments from Apostle Jeffrey Holland. Former police chief sues the University of Utah for $2.5 million. Samson Orpuka, Naku brothers among the few question marks on Bayou football's first depth chart of the season. This new system for canning soda and beer could get more trucks off Utah roads. UVU becomes 4th public college in Utah to require students get the COVID-19 vaccine. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Russian cosmonauts find new cracks in International Space Station module. Apple acquires Primephonic to bolster standalone Apple Music classical app in 2022. Google's releases new AI photo upscaling tech. Hackers steal $29 million from crypto platform Cream Finance. Consumers spent $40 billion on App Store in first half of 2021, nearly double that of Google Play Store. PayPal is exploring a stock trading platform for U.S. customers. How Amazon pressures out 6% of office workers. GM temporarily stops making the Chevy Bolt after latest recall. Telegram tops 1 billion downloads. Apple iPhone 13 rumors go sky high with satellite connection. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Satisfying resolution after Jefferson County residents say they were dropped by garbage carriers. Thousands raised for fallen Marine Jared Schmitz's family. Here's how to donate. Missouri police, 13-year-old died of drug overdose at friend's house. Person in custody following threat against Mercy Hospital in Troy, no. Dozens advocate to exonerate Kevin Strickland and Lamar Johnson days after new state law goes into effect. Judge restores unvaccinated Illinois mom's right to see son. Volunteers spend day at historic cemetery, cleaning the grounds and locating missing graves. How you can help storm victims in Louisiana after Hurricane Ida. Illinois parents document emotional journey after learning of unborn baby's heart defect. Lawsuit seeks reinstatement of Missouri jobless benefits. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Firefighters battle small brush fire burning near Ramona. All California national forests to close for 2 weeks due to wildfires, according to internal memo. Drug trafficker who used teens as couriers at Boulder sentenced to prison. San Diego County reports 1,025 new COVID-19 infections, 5 more deaths. SoCal nurse dies of COVID-19 after giving birth to 5th child, never met newborn daughter, family. City attorney, Scripps Health unlawfully discharged schizophrenic patient. 6 East County families who were stuck in Afghanistan make it out, others remain. Special report, CBP's Air and Marine branch busier than ever. 1,300 bodies remain unclaimed this year in Tijuana, medical examiner says. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. Mysterious light tank spotted in Serbia. Ukrainian company develop new tactical vehicle to replace Soviet-era UAZ Jeep. Finnish vehicle maker teams up with CSM for Slovakian 88 armored vehicle project. Japanese jets intercept Chinese giant drones. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. Beijing restricts kids to 3 hours of gaming per week. World Cup qualifying, China vs Australia, preview. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Tuesday, August 31st, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. California emergency officials give update on historic fire response. South Lake Tahoe residents evacuate as Calder fire gets dangerously close. Violent weekend, Oakland police investigate 3 homicides, nearly a dozen shootings. Forest Service to close all national forests in California. Man plays violin for California fire evacuees stuck in traffic. Silicon Valley records slight decrease in unemployment numbers. Oakland Zoo to host pop-up COVID-19 vaccine clinics. Clean California, Caltrans to hire more than 200 people to help keep Bay Area clean. COVID-19 outbreak, 19 people on board cargo ship at Pier 26 test positive, 6 hospitalized. Witnesses help save Asian woman pushed into San Francisco street, police. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Boys soccer, slow start costs Conant in loss to Boylan. Advocate Sherman Hospital rescheduling elective surgeries due to a lack of anesthesia providers. Patient information exposed in July attack on DuPage Medical Group computers. Suburban businesswomen to host prayer vigil for slain Chicago police officer. Woodfield Mall seeks shoppers' memories on 50th anniversary. Arlington Heights School loses state recognition over masks. Energy bill could see a vote Tuesday in Springfield. Person of interest in custody after Naperville shooting leaves victim in critical condition. Zion man charged with attempted murder in McHenry intersection shooting. U.S. troops leave Afghanistan, but we did not get everybody out, General says. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Washington's razor clammed eggs return in September with increased limits. 9 fantastic places to go apple picking in Washington this fall. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Red alert for Tropical Cyclone Ida 21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 2.652 million. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone K21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Orange alert for Tropical Cyclone Nor 21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 1.445 million. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone Julian 21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Chile. Drought is ongoing in Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania. Drought is ongoing in Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar. Drought is ongoing in Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, Italy, Serbia. Drought is ongoing in Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Russia, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Burkina Faso, Benin, Central African Republic, Cameroon, Ghana, Niger, Nigeria. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Tuesday, August 31st in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Popular Houston Instagram model found dead in Richmond apartment, police say. Lifeguard killed, 7 others injured due to lightning strike on New Jersey beach. America's longest war ends after 20 years as last U.S. troops depart Afghanistan. Houston spared by Hurricane Ida's worst, but leftover moisture could bring storms at midweek. 5 homes asked to evacuate due to gas leak in Channelview, sheriff says. Afghans who got out in time fear for relatives, it's the last time we're going to meet each other. Family of man attacked by 2 dogs during morning walk thanks neighbors for saving his life. Hurricane Ida evacuees stuck in Texas, unsure about when they'll go home. Hurricane Ida left Louisiana's power grid with catastrophic damage, state's governor says. Houston man charged with murder after missing woman's body found in Brookshire, police say. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. After U.S. Open loss, Murray calls Tsitsipas breaks nonsense. The latest, 20-year-old from Atlanta ties U.S. Open serve mark. Mississippi Governor, Christians are less scared of COVID. NC Governor vetoes doing away with pistol purchase permits. Sutter Health paying $90 min Medicare fraud settlement. U.S. climate envoy in Japan to discuss effort to cut emissions. The latest, Honolulu sets vaccine proof for business clients. Feds charge ex-priest with child sex crimes in East Timor. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Extra, Mets players now booing Mets fans for booing them. NY state lawmakers expected to convene emergency session to extend eviction moratorium. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. Return of U.S. Open beset by completely chaotic hours-long lines. 80-pound cougar cub removed from Bronx apartment. Todd Haynes dives into the history of the Velvet Underground in trailer for new documentary. J. Albert cancelled for second straight year. Detainee found dead in his cell at Rikers Island. Early edition, the time Curtis Sliva wrestled a gun out of someone's hand in a McDonald's. Ahead of NYC school reopening, 1,500 classrooms still undergoing ventilation repairs. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Argentina takes controversial step backwards in biofuel production. Closed borders and hostile receptions await Afghan refugees. Jamaica walking a tightrope between boosting the economy and cutting emissions in COVID-19 era. Security Council urges Taliban to provide safe passage out of Afghanistan. IAEA deeply troubled by DPRK nuclear reactor development. Vaccine access negotiations to resume as new variants spread. Israel-Palestine, waste no opportunity for serious political negotiation, envoy urges. End of deleted fuel use a milestone for multilateralism. The Taliban win, the aftermath in Afghanistan and in the world. Secretary General calls for bold action to end biodiversity crisis. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Hurricane Ida lashes Louisiana, knocks out New Orleans power. Israel warns COVID Green Pass will expire if residents don't get third jab. Chase Bank closes Jen Mike Flynn's credit card account citing reputational risk. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Thousands rush to flee Lake Tahoe Resort City as fire nears. As districts insist on vaccines, some teachers push back. No, Jim Cantor was not caught faking it in Ida's wins by man doing cartwheel. Last troops exit Afghanistan, ending America's longest war. Astronaut gets special ice cream delivery for 50th birthday. Museum chief is only candidate for Estonia's presidency. Wendy's upgrades French fries. State mask bans face federal civil rights inquiries. Does video show Joe Biden falling asleep in meeting with Israeli PM? EU takes US off safe travel list, backs travel restrictions. The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Researcher distorts facts on COVID-19 vaccine approval, liability. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. America's war in Afghanistan is over, but our big lies about it live on. She went into labor, then Hurricane Ida tore into her city. Kanye West's Donda is a tribute to mom full of people who hate women. Russian state TV host compares slain Kabul Marine to Ashley Babbitt in deranged rant. Leave or be removed, anti-maskers menace school boards. Madison Cawthorn fantasizes about busting out January 6 political hostages. Taliban gloats as last U.S. flight leaves Afghanistan, ending forever war. We are family now, male witness describes R. Kelly sexually abusing him as teen. Giuliani's PR guru resigns as legal walls close in. Wacky guy angrily confronts NBC News correspondent during live hurricane report. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Disgraceful, shameful, Republican outrage after Biden ends pullout. Photo shows last U.S. service member departing Afghanistan. Coco Gauff rallies for emotional U.S. Open win, almost brings me to tears too. NYC correction officer fractures skull in violent attack by inmate on Rikers Island. What to look out for when the Giants cut to the 53-man roster. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Run a mini-messenger marathon this summer. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Worldview, Japan's COVID-19 vaccine setback. Ida leaves more than 1 million without power in Louisiana. All Californian national forests to temporarily close due to wildfires. Rescue efforts underway in Louisiana after Hurricane Ida slams into Gulf Coast. Flooded roadways hamper Ida rescue efforts. Ida prompts flood alerts from Gulf Coast to Northeast. Calder fire forces thousands to evacuate in California. Rescues underway after Ida devastates the Gulf Coast. Hurricane Ida causes major flooding, power outages. Hurricanes Ida and Katrina are similar, but tiny differences are key. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Hate crimes against Asians and blacks rise sharply in the U.S., FBI says. Reggie Miller's son gets choke cake on 8th birthday. Hurricane Ida leveled historic jazz landmark Karnofsky Taylor Shop, second home to Louis Armstrong. Robert Durst laughs when grilled over claim he drank fifth of Jack Daniels, dismembered Morris Black with axe and bowsaw. State lawmakers plan to freeze evictions in NY through 2022, sources. Hoax kills COVID-denying anti-vaxxer who worked for the CIA, report. Love your KFC, now there's a phone case for it. Lifeguard killed, at least 6 injured after lightning strike at New Jersey beach. China limits kids to 3 hours of online gaming per week and only on weekends. Final U.S. planes fly out of Afghanistan, ending America's longest war. The following headlines are from military.com. Active duty soldiers join fight against the Dixie Fire in California. Final troops withdraw from Afghanistan, ending evacuation, and the war. Rocket attacks hit Kabul airport as massive evacuation nears end. Coast Guard, National Guard forces begin rescues and aid in response to Hurricane Ida. Pandemic lapses bring scrutiny to Navy grooming and military standards in Naples. Unjust actions. Army illegally denied housing allowance to reservists and wrongly investigated them. Board fines. U.S. aims to start Bali bombing war crimes case at Guantanamo. White House. U.S. has capacity to evacuate remaining Americans. North Korea appears to have resumed nuke reactor operation, UN Atomic Agency says. Rockets fired at Kabul airport amid U.S. withdrawal hit homes. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Cook County judge rescinds order stripping unvaccinated Pilsen woman of child custody rights, but fight may not be over. Jacqueline Jackson out of ICU, still on oxygen for COVID-19. Lawmakers returning to Springfield to vote on new legislative maps, but energy overhaul may also be on agenda. Volunteers with Paws Chicago bringing animals to the city after Hurricane Ida leaves many displaced, homeless. Chicago police officer placed on desk duty after viral video appears to show him grabbing, physically restraining woman on North Avenue Beach. Orland Park special education teacher fatally shot on. Dan Ryan was a tireless volunteer, faithful Catholic and inspiration to students. Man found shot on Waukegan sidewalk in serious condition, police say. Cannabis smoking lounge is off to successful start in Illinois. Illinois sends search and rescue team to Louisiana to help in Hurricane Ida recovery efforts. CPS reopening, worries, excitement, busing woes mark first day as schools reopen fully. The following headlines are from phys.org. Marine mussels are a model for improving strength, stretchiness and adhesion in hydrogels for wound healing. Goldbird's eye reveals dynamics in Earth's interface to space. Semicolon, SOP age, growth, and longevity influenced by Hawaiian intertidal environment. Physicist helps confirm a major advance in stellar radar performance for fusion energy. Preparation versus relief, understanding public support for natural disaster spending. Researchers identify record number of ancient elephant bone tools. Researchers explore how people respond to wildfire smoke. New archaeological discoveries in Australia highlight lack of protections for submerged indigenous sites. The flower clock, how a small protein helps flowers to develop right and on time. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Tuesday, August 31st, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. This taste-related protein may lead to new diabetes treatment. Deep, slow breathing, an antidote to our age of anxiety? Astronomers discover new class of habitable planet. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Lester Sharp, Goldschmidt HR, Cardinals move up, beat Reds. As Seattle recovers from COVID-19 pandemic, City Hall asks residents what they want from parks. Deputies search for suspect in Kenmore homicide. Alaska lawmakers face crunch to pay checks from oil wealth. Extra Innings podcast, assessing the Mariners' fading postseason hopes. California lawmakers vote to limit secret settlements. Angels Otani will not pitch Tuesday, Trout has setback. Honolulu to require vaccine or negative test at restaurants. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Kurtenbach, despite injury, the 49ers were right to play Trey Lance in preseason. COVID, proposed California vaccine verification bill on ice. As African researchers keeping an eye on new COVID variant. SF Giants Chris Bryant returns to lineup for series opener against Brewers, Tommy La Stella scratched. It's out of control, Calder fire prompts South Lake Tahoe evacuation traffic gridlock. IAEA, and Korea appears to have restarted nuclear operation. Critter Corner, some tips for first-time dog owners. SF Giants, Alex Wood tests positive for COVID-19, Johnny Cueto also feeling ill. Letters, vaccine victory what no means blaming Newsom failure to lead dodging crises limits of power. All national forests in California will close to visitors. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Florida withholds funding from school districts with mask mandates. Detroit zoo animals given COVID-19 vaccine. Merrick Garland urges legal profession to help with expected onslaught of evictions. Americans left behind as final U.S. military planes leave Afghanistan. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Turkey president, hints at bigger buy for Russian defense system. Inside the Beltway, Republican trust in news media plunges. Conservative conference cancels book sales after bookseller bucks at green fraud. Last U.S. planes leave Afghanistan, ending 20-year war. Rebecca Furlett, unvaccinated mother, stripped of right to see her son by Illinois judge. Newly released court documents suggest FBI aware of Saudi link to 9/11. The next headlines are from The Intercept. U.S. drone strike in Kabul killed a family and began a new chapter of the war. The Georgia prison guard shortage is killing incarcerated people. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Tuesday, August 31st, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Brothers who say they buried mom, sister in yard released from custody, Lyon police. Police Academy to churn out conveyor belt of classes to fill 877 sworn police vacancies. Top cop puts officer seen in viral video apparently restraining woman at beach on desk duty. Kenai's original plan, move mom's actual house to Soldier Field. 17-year-old boy shot in Chatham. Man fatally shot in Harvey. Union representing Chicago firefighters and paramedics is opposed to vaccine mandate. Judge reverses order that had barred unvaccinated mom from seeing son. Bears WR Marquis good win on 100 feet to start season, tutoring Khalil Mack on speed. Alderman pushed back against Lightfoot's plan to retire Scoop and toss borrowing. The next headlines are from the Times of India. Paralympics live, Rubina qualifies for 10 map final. Afghan live, Biden to address nation. Live, most adults to get COVID vaccine first dose by October. Ahead of Tuesday deadline, U.S. completes withdrawal of forces from Afghanistan. ROA's JDU, says Nitish Kumar is PM material. Afghan Sikhs, Hindus return home from Kabul Gurdwara. Will foil any bid to fuel cross-border terror. Sale of meat, liquor banned in Mathura. Pakistan tries to step up terror activities in Kashmir. India reiterates two-state solution on Palestinian issue. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Tuesday, August 31st, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Pro-choice groups beg Supreme Court to block TX abortion law. Deal on GOP election bill sets stage for Abbott's approval. Houston to NOLA, we got you. Ars Lyrica presents their 17th season Turning Points. Things to do, upcoming food and drink events in Houston this week. Opinion, the scary, controlling power of the state's new abortion law. Live music industry responds to the Delta variant. The next headlines are about world records making news. It was emotional. Charlotte athlete sets world record at Paralympics in Tokyo, WSOC Charlotte. Odisha youth sets record for making world's smallest wax statue of Lord Buddha, News 18. Chinese Paralympic athlete Zhou Xia sets world record in the women's 100-meter race in Tokyo, Yahoo News. 7 times El Paso set impressive Guinness World Records, KiselPaso.com. Alexander Sorokin of Lithuania runs 309 kilometers in 24 hours to break world record, Canadian Running Magazine. Battle Creek man goes for Guinness World Record, WBCKFM.com. On tracks from Kamloops to set a world record, Kamloops this week. South African charity lines up 90,450 food cans for world record, UPI News. Tokyo Paralympics was under pressure, but happy to set world record, says javelin thrower Sumit Antil, Economic Times. COVID-19 study scoop scientific world record, Fin Channel, The Financial. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Poison ivy is coming to the CW's Batwoman. The Rocketeer will return in a new Disney Plus movie. Judge orders hospital to give severely ill COVID-19 patient ivermectin. Here's why Instagram is now demanding to know your birthday. Finally, Evangelion Blu-rays you can actually buy. Strava is leaving older Android smartwatches in the dust. Apple is launching an app dedicated entirely to classical music. Halloween Kills is surprisingly timely, says Jamie Lee Curtis. Surreal photos show the fierce battle against Calder fire at a Tahoe ski resort. From Spider-Man to The Matrix, the best things we saw at CinemaCon 2021. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Jarrah in Kuwait at 120.56 degrees Fahrenheit or 49.2 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was University WIID in Dome Fuji at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Coinbase erroneously reported 2 FA changes to 125,000 customers. Scientists built a tiny robot to mimic the mantis shrimp's knockout punch. Judges order requiring hospital to give COVID patient ivermectin called unethical. Not enough backup power, AT&T and T-Mobile suffer big outages in Louisiana. Teacher with COVID symptoms went maskless, making her class an experiment. Pompeii tomb reveals formerly enslaved man's rise to wealth and power. The 2021 Jeep Wrangler 4's Amary's World War II handling with 50 miles per gallon efficiency. Fossil's Gen 6 smartwatches launch into an unforgiving Samsung Wear OS world. New PS5 models weight loss mystery solved, a smaller, likely better heatsink. China bans online gaming for minors except from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Friday to Sunday. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Media watchdog issues dire warning, Fox News, not Facebook, will be driver of next insurrection. Tucker Carlson vows to help infamous anti-vaxxer sue totalitarians who banned him from Twitter. It's all terrifying, fascism expert breaks down Madison Cawthorn's violence-promoting propaganda. DeSantis administration blows off court ruling and strips funding from schools defying mask mandate ban. We're coming to your door, anti-vaxxers vow to harass Los Angeles City Council members at their homes. Don't you dare, USA Today trashed by meteorologists for questioning their Hurricane Ida forecasts. Watch, QAnon fan accuses Florida school board of using masks to commit child trafficking. America must admit the Afghanistan war was a failure and has been for years, CNN's Zachariah. Trump sparks 2024 speculation as he seeks to shore up support in key state he lost to Ted Cruz, report. Christian feels God told her to sue Krispy Kreme over mask policy, horribly discriminated against. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. As Hurricane Ida strands thousands, the police would rather focus on anti-looting patrols. The first Afghan woman in the Paralympics since 2004 prepares to compete. Most of the news bias analysis you see is based on bias. Why Facebook won't stop pushing propaganda. Drought is complicating California's plans for a carbon-free future. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Lee, Scratch, Perry, Bob Marley mentor and reggae innovator, dies at 85, The New York Times. New ideas on what makes a planet habitable could reshape the search for life. Science News Magazine. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Ketamine results in drop in pain scores for sickle cell patients. MD Magazine. Struggling to learn a new language? Blame it on your stable brain. UCSF News Services. Low temperature emergent neuromorphic networks with correlated oxide devices. PNAS.org. Revisiting spasticity after stroke. JMDH. Dove Medical Press. Scientists discover one kind of friend is best for brain health. Inverse. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Tuesday, August 31st, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Navy pilots recall 2004 UAP sighting. The New Reality of UFOs interview with journalist Leslie Keane. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Tuesday, August 31st, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.